Yo, what is going on everyone? Hayden here, coming back at you with a brand new video, and this one's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be finally diving in more in depth on Facebook ads, talking a lot about that. I finally I don't wanna say figured it out, but I have campaigns that are doing really well. I'm super excited, making some money, having some fun. So I'm gonna share that for you guys since it is highly requested. We did a live stream yesterday, which I do wanna apologize for all the technical difficulties, but seems like you guys enjoyed it and it was crazy. We had like, I think 140 people on there at one time. That was like the top number. So that's crazy. I appreciate all the support and the questions for everyone who jumped on there. But right now we're gonna be talking about Facebook ads and my strategy that I use to make sure that it actually works. Now of course there's no 100% way to make sure a campaign's gonna work, but this is gonna make more sense later in the video, but I'm like funneling things down and narrowing it into what will work, and I cast a wide net. And I know this probably sounds really weird, but like I figure out what's gonna work and I just move closer to it. So I'm gonna be breaking that down for you guys, but just know that as long as you're testing and figuring things out and following the process like that I'm talking about or that other people are doing that's working, if you're continuously implementing and doing that, you're eventually gonna find something that clicks and then you're gonna blow it up. So with that being said, let's jump into my Facebook Ads Manager. Okay, so we are currently inside of a Facebook ad account. This is an old one. As you can see, it's been flagged for policy violations. Got shut down a long time ago, so I don't really have to worry about showing and like hiding any campaigns. So if you're setting up a campaign, like I have a whole set of notes that I want to run through here because you guys have had a lot of questions and people asking me, you know, how I'm setting up my campaigns, how they should be setting up theirs. First of all, we're gonna start with like, I'm gonna kind of build a campaign, not really. I'm gonna show you what type of campaign I'll build. But for example, this is how I set up my campaign. So if we go to campaigns here, click traffic, I don't even know what this one was for. Again, this was a long time ago. Yeah, look, November 11th, 2016. And then go to the ad sets for that. This is how I structure my campaigns now. Now you're not gonna see it in here, but this is what I would do. You would see 3 ad sets inside of here. And if you click it, for one of them, you can go to the breakdown. So I'll be running campaigns that are very general. And what this means, this didn't even have any results. I, again, have no idea what I was doing running this. But so I have 3 ad sets inside of here. I use the breakdown to really analyze it. But when I'm actually setting up a campaign, so if, let's say I want to test a new product, right? I want to launch new products, I want to see how it does. I'm gonna go to campaigns, I'm gonna create a campaign. Now I'm either gonna do a conversions for purchase, depending on how seasoned the pixel is, or I'm gonna do an initiate checkout. That's one I feel a lot of people don't talk about, and it's worked well for me, so that's why I do it. But I'll do an initiate checkout campaign. So if you guys see here, I don't want to show much of the pixel, but conversions, oops, yep. We got conversions right there. You go through. I know I'm like chopping off part of the screen here. That's just because there's information up at the top that I don't know if I should release. You can do a conversion event. I do this one, initiate checkout. Oh yeah, this is my first clothing line. Yeah, so initiate checkout, that's the campaign I do. We're gonna go back to the ads manager here. But so I'll test 3, and the difference between the 3 ad sets, it's the same exact page post, which is how I set up all my ads. It's the same everything, copy, image. The only difference between them is the targeting. And what I do for these specifically, these 3 ad sets, I run 3 ad sets, $5 a day budget for 3 days. The only difference is the interests, and I take kind of general interest anywhere between 500,000 and 4 million. And I will only do 1 interest. Okay, so I do 1 kind of more general, like mid-general interest for 2 of those ad sets, and then for 1 I'll stack like 3 or 4. And the reason I do this is just because it's gotten me better results. I leave the age very broad, like I still leave it from 18 to 65 for all these campaigns, because my goal inside of these 3 days is to get data. I wanna see who's interacting with it, where that traffic's coming from. I'll run it on both Instagram and Facebook. I'll do mobile and desktop. It's just a very broad, and my goal is not to make money with these campaigns. My goal after the 3 days is to get the data to then run another campaign based on what's working, okay? So after 3 days, after each of them have spent 15 bucks, you know, you're investing 45 or whatever, not bad. I'll kill the one, there's usually one that's just underperforming by far. And then I would kill that over in ad sets. And I would look at the other 2. I would kind of see which one's doing better. I would go to it, I would hit this, I would do breakdown, I would look at their platform and device, where they're, you know, that means where they're coming from. So as you see, you can kind of, yeah, all these ad sets are screwed up. But so actually, I didn't mention this. I will actually do the top 5 main English-speaking countries, which are the US, the UK, New Zealand, Australia, and Canada. Okay, so those are the 5. I'll do that for usually the campaign where I stack the interests, and that's just because I can test location. I want to see, you know, if potentially another country is getting better results for that campaign. I like to test a ton of variables, but I also try and like run individual campaigns. I only change one thing at a time, okay? That's something that I think is important. Don't be like constantly testing variables. Like, it just makes it easier and cleaner on yourself. Test one variable at a time. You know, that's why I have 3 different ad sets, so I can test 3 different things at the same time, and then after those 3 days, I can go back, look at the data, and run more off that. But now during those 3 days while they're being tested, I don't touch them, I don't even look at them, to be honest. In that time, I'm going through and setting up more campaigns with 3 ad sets. So this allows me to run through and test, you know, 1 whole individual product every day, or 2, 1 every other day, however much work you want to put into it. So that's how I set that up, and it's been working really well for me, just because I can take that data and immediately build a campaign after 3 days that, like, will at least start doing a lot better than those. And I'll usually do, so after I make those 3 for 3 days, then I'm gonna make 2, usually 2 ad sets, you know, kind of building off of what's worked, and then after those 3 days, then I'll kind of narrow that down to usually another 1 or 2 and just keep building off of it, getting more in depth on the data. And that started bringing me some really good results. That's what's been working lately. I'm waking up to sales every day, getting them throughout the day, and it's awesome to see that it's finally working. So that's why I wanted to share that with you guys. Of course, there's a lot more that goes into this, but like, that's the basis how I'm setting it up. So let's say, you know, you're in the cat niche, right? You want to test a cat toy or like a little sweater or whatever coming up for the holidays. Okay, cool. Take the product, make a page post for it. Like we've made when I showed you how to make a Facebook post, go to your page post. I don't actually do it in the campaign itself. I just enter the post ID. Looks better to me. That's just how I structure things. So make that post. Okay, 1 time, you make 1 post. And then you're gonna go build a campaign with 1 interest, broad age. You could filter by just women because they're probably gonna buy that more. But honestly, I'd probably do women, but I might test 1 campaign where it's all, both men and women, just to kind of see, because you know, you want to let the data speak for itself. And after that, so after you're setting up that campaign, once it's good, you know, I'll pick 1 interest and then I launch it. 1 interest between 500,000 to 4 million, like we said. Once I launch it, I duplicate it, and the only thing I change is the targeting. Okay, so that's literally it. I'm gonna switch the interest to another one, you know, in between 500,000 and 4 million. And again, like I always say this, there's never an exact number. Like I know I've done targeting that's only 350,000. Like you can play around with it. There's not an exact range you have to be in. That's just kind of the numbers that typically work best for me. And I wanna give you guys like that outline and the structure of how I'm doing it. But so I'll go through, make 2 more campaigns that build off of that, or excuse me, 2 more ad sets that build off of that. $5 a day budget for all of them, let them run 3 days. Use the database on that, like I showed you. This is how you break it down and see what's going on. Go to the campaign, okay? It's a little slow. I have a ton of softwares running right now. You click the campaign, okay, so it's highlighted. It'll say 1 selected right there. Go to ad sets for that campaign. This is just for you guys who don't exactly know how to break all this down. You know, I didn't, so hopefully this helps a lot of you. Click on that, the one you want, because there will usually be 3, and you break it down. Hit this breakdown, and you can do it by platform and device where they're on. This is glitching out, but age and gender, that's usually the 2 I look at. Age and gender, and platform and device. Okay, and if I'm targeting other countries like the main 5 like we talked about, I will break it down by country just to see the results, but you're gonna get a lot of data based on that. And you can, like, if you actually study it, you know, you can build a very successful campaign off of that. You know, I call it like rounds. I do it in rounds. So this would be round 1. Then once I'm building more campaigns off the data, that's round 2. And it's usually round 2 and 3 where things start to pick up and you make some sales. So I hope this helped you guys out, answered your questions, and kind of showed you what's been working for me now on Facebook, because I know a lot of you guys are asking. If you want more videos on this subject, let me know. Just drop it in the comments below exactly what you want to see. So I'm gonna keep coming at you guys with this fire content every single day. So if you haven't joined the family already, what are you doing? Hit that nice looking subscribe button down below and drop a like on the video if you enjoyed. And I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow in the next one. Peace.